Hi again, everyone, and welcome back inside the CitrusTV studios with Ben Peck and Darius Joshua. I'm John Nolan. We're excited to get you set for Syracuse and Minnesota this Saturday night. And guys, this game Saturday night at Minnesota, outdoors, the high temperature is just around 50 degrees for game time. Makes you think, do you wish that Syracuse still played its home games in the elements?
You know, I'd rather they didn't. I like to be able to stroll up to the dome in a pair of shorts, relaxed, a nice little T-shirt. I know we're in Syracuse, but I like the element of the dome being nice and warm.
First off, I still don't know how you can make that walk. Even though you're watching the game in the dome, I don't know how you walk to the dome in shorts. But you definitely wish for these situations they were playing outside. But you don't want to have an outdoor stadium with no one show up at home.
All right, well, fair enough. You can enjoy the comforts of the dome for right now. Who knows what's in store down the road. But, all right, guys, it's time for us to go behind the bite. We're going to play, I wish they were serving us food, but instead we're going to play sound bites. And it's your job to tell us if you're buying or selling what coach and players are saying, all right? First up, let's go with the head man for Syracuse, Doug Marrone, on a topic that's been kind of controversial through the first 3 weeks. It's the playing time of true freshman running back Ashton Broyles. A lot of fans think he could be a game-breaker type and would like to see him out on the field more. Here's what Coach Marrone had to say.
He's a very, very good athlete. But in order to play more, you have to know the ins and outs of everything that you're doing. And it's not just Syracuse University's football programs like that. It's a lot of football programs that are like that. So, what you've seen, though, and if you take it on the positive side, is he has been getting better and better, and we have been getting him more involved, and we have been getting him more carries.
I definitely think that Broyles will get those carries. If that was an iPhone 5, I'd walk right in the store and I'd buy everything he just said. Broyles is an explosive player. They need him in the backfield to kind of give Bryson Tyson-Gully and Jerome Smith those reps in the game, especially in this no-huddle offense that's very fast, very quick. And with an explosive player like that, a freshman too, it's important to get him nice game time early in the season. For
Broyles' expectations, I think he can look back to last year's SU basketball team and maybe Michael Carter-Williams or Rakeem Christmas. They didn't see much playing time once the game got much more significant. I think he's getting his reps in. And let's remember, he had a handful of good plays against Stony Brook. So he had a good game. All the credit to him, but I don't know if we can see that going forward through the rest of the season.
Well, that may not make fans happy after Broyles did have his first college touchdown Saturday against Stony Brook. By the way, Darius, I believe you can pre-order Coach Marrone's statements in advance. All right, moving on now. Coming up Saturday night against Minnesota, backup quarterbacks Max Shortell starting for the Golden Gophers, but a lot of people say he's actually the better passer, better than Marquise Gray. So we asked Shamarko Thomas, should Syracuse's secondary be worried going up against the Golden Gophers?
You definitely got to scheme against their receivers because they got great athletes, but definitely not worried. We got athletes like Keon Lynn, Rashad Anderson to come in and play at corner, and then Jeremy Wilkes and me at safety, so shouldn't be worried out there.
All right, well, Shamarko, no surprise, certainly feels pretty confident going into this matchup. Should he be?
I think he has a full amount of confidence, and he should be confident, definitely, because, yes, Max Shortell may be the better passer, throwing about 65% on the season to Marquise Gray's 59%, but who he's throwing to are three inexperienced receivers, at least the starters, or at least their leading receivers are inexperienced. You got two junior college transfers in Isaac Fouchette and also John Rabe. And then you have a redshirt junior in A.J. Barker who only had one start last season. So I think it's because they have veterans in the secondary of Syracuse taking on these young receivers in Minnesota. I think Shamarko's got all the right to be confident going into this matchup.
Well, let's keep it real, though. The skill set of these receivers, their strong suit is finding the open holes in the defense, and Syracuse has allowed their fair share of open holes, especially early on. So they definitely need to be prepared for a big game to start off, although in the end they might be able to come out on top.
Stony Brook threw for less than 100 yards against the SU secondary. Now, sure, maybe that was because they're an FCS team, and they didn't have too much trouble running the ball down.
Yeah.
Well, now looking ahead almost past this Minnesota game for a moment, Ryan Nassib says that he thinks this game against the Golden Gophers has even more importance than usual because there's the bye week right after.
The game before bye week is always big because you never want to lose, but if you do lose, then you have to wait a whole another week, a whole extra week to play another game to get that taste out of your mouth.
Oh, a bit of an interesting take right there from Ryan Nassib. I mean, sure, every game's important, but do you think that what Ryan Nassib says here is true, that this game has more at stake than usual?
You know, I think you can compare this game to, say you have 5 wins, you need a bowl win. I think you can compare it to that, because going into a bye week, you want to be coming off a win. You want to have like kind of a relaxed feeling. You don't want to be feeling awful about last night, think about all the mistakes you made in that loss from last week heading into Big East play as well. They're going to want to have confidence and want to have swagger, not thinking about what all the things that went wrong, but yet let's fix the things that didn't go wrong in that last win we had last week.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely important, and it could turn out to be a huge win for this team if they get it going into the bye week. But with that said, I think this is a team that comes out with a lot of energy, regardless of who it is. And let's just say, worst case scenario, if they lost this game and they were to come out with a win on Pittsburgh, I think that would be way bigger than if they were to win this game, and who knows what happens against Pittsburgh.
I think it's way easier to get a win coming off a little bit of momentum if they get this win against Minnesota.
Yeah, but if they come out okay in Pittsburgh, they'll be okay for the rest of the year.
Well, we'll have to find out. Saturday night, Syracuse on the road at Minnesota, looking to make it back-to-back wins after they had 11 months between wins. For Ben Peck and Darius Joshua, I'm John Nolan. You're going to want to check out sportsblog.citrustv.net for the best video coverage in the area to recap it all.